start streaming. So connecting. So hopefully that's going to be a little bit better now. Let's see. Perfect. Let's mute that. So I should be live now. I'm pretty sure I am. So let's get started. Let's see if anyone can confirm. Okay, so we're live. We are go. Okay, so this is the Banter Blitz match against Iubar. So I think it's first to 6, and I should really know. I think it's first to 6.5 points. But you can't have more whites than the opponent in those matches. So if it's sort of, let's say, 6-5 and someone's had an extra white to get to 6 points, then you have to play some more games. So someone played this against me yesterday. Highest Cliff played this against me yesterday, and I fortunately looked up what I was supposed to do after the game. So I played e5 in that game, which I even said was a bad move on the stream. The reason it's not so good usually to play e5 compared to e6 in these structures is that when white develops with knight to c3, it's good to be controlling this square with the pawn. While when the pawn's on e5, sometimes it can be a bit of an issue with this undefended square here. But the idea is that so white will take here, and now I'll play knight c6. And I was trying to get this to work in my game yesterday. Oh, that's very loud. I'll turn that down on my side. I don't know if this is affecting people listening. This is the move. This was all I really looked at. So if he goes here, then I jump here. I was a little bit worried in that game about his queen sort of coming out over somewhere, but it turns out it's not such a big deal. So I guess I should just jump anyway. Yeah, it's got to be knight b4, right? I would have thought. Obviously threatening here, so he's got to do something. He can try jumping with his own knight, or he can try moving his queen somewhere. If he goes to f3, then knight g4 comes with kind of a tempo on f2. So maybe he jumps to g4 or h5, and then goodness knows what's going on. It looks pretty messy, which is usually quite good when you're black. I've also got this idea of playing here in bishop b4, which could be good. So yeah, so knight d3 looks good here, because I mean you can't take with the c pawns, you have to take with the bishop, and then I can play potentially throw in bishop b4, c3, and then take his queen. And when he jumps in with the knight to b5, I can just play queen e7. I think that looks quite good for me. Do I have to rush though? Can I just take his queen and then wait for knight b5? But then he jumps with this knight, so let's do this. Looks quite good. So he has to take with the bishop. It's his only move. I think there's no reason to rush with me playing bishop b4. I just take his queen off. He's got to play knight b5, right? And then I guess I could even. This has got to be right, though, isn't it? Just bishop b4 has got to be the right move. Just keep my queen. I've noticed that he actually. We can take here with the knight. That's kind of a bit annoying, I guess, but he hasn't done it. He does like playing against the queen. I've noticed in his games, especially with the white pieces, he often goes for positions from direct from the opening where he gives up his queen for a bunch of pieces. But obviously here he hasn't got a bunch of pieces, so it should be simply quite good. He's got this annoying knight. I think probably he should have just taken on a7. It seemed like a more sensible way to go. So what to do? I guess I want to activate my pieces a bit. He's probably going to take on b4. I'm just going to play a5. Yeah, f4 is what I was expecting. He wants to play this up. I'm going to play f5. It's a little bit risky because I mean he'll probably try and smash this open a bit. But I'm also threatening just to bring the queen out here directly, so he's going to stop that. Now, how do I get my pieces in the game properly? So, bishop a6 seems like a sensible move. That bishop wasn't going to be doing anything on this diagonal. So d3, that makes sense. And my queen, how do I get my queen? I don't think I can really get my queen in easily. She's going to play e4. So I could play do I want to do here? I can move my queen back and then just try and come over this way. Another idea would be to play queen here and then play. I'm just going to do it. I can't. I've only got 40 seconds. For goodness sake, I need to just move. I've got this idea of playing bishop b7. Then if he takes it, I can play queen across. He can block with the rook, and then I can try and just smash open here. I don't know how good that is, but it's quite difficult to get pieces into play. I'm also obviously just threatening to take his knight here with this or with the bishop, so he should probably jump in with the knight somehow. He hasn't, so I'm just going to take his piece, and now I should have all sorts of nice stuff. Does this win? Oh my goodness, he's got rook takes a5. Oh, he didn't play it. Oh my goodness, that was oh dear. Okay, I need to not do that again. It's quite fortunate there. So knight c3. I quite like this opening. So let's do this. This is kind of a fun kind of bit of a forcing line for me to play. He has to really bring his queen out. Yeah, and then the best move is to play queen d4. Queen f4 allows me to develop with the knight, which is good for white, because now he can't really take the exchange to queens because my knight's on such a good square. So he's in a bit of trouble already now. Queen d4 is better because then I have to play d3 and then he can exchange queens. Let's see. Yeah, still everything's okay. So yeah, he's probably realised by this point that he's made a bit of a mistake. I think probably best is to play knight f6, and then when I kind of come in here he can try and escape somehow, but it should be good for me. I can at least just like go over here and take these and leave his queen in a really bad position. Yeah, f6 is less good, I think, or it's simpler anyway. I'm just going to play queen here. So he's going to play knight here. What's the best way to stamp out any play? Knight h4. Play g5. Probably the best way to stamp out any play is to make a move more quickly than this. Let's just let's play h3. If he plays knight h6, my idea is just to kind of sacrifice the knight. I'm going to play d3. When this knight's going to sacrifice itself at some point, just because my pieces feel a bit clunky. So I'll just do it now, and then I can play e4, develop my bishop, and just castle. Develop my bishop out here. Potentially even castle queenside. So he's stopping me from doing that. Let's just castle. I don't need to play f4 quite yet. I can do that in a minute. So where's he going with that? Well, if I go there, he goes to g4, obviously. Let's just play f4. And then king h1. King h1 to come. Yeah, with a piece and a pawn extra, it should be, as long as I don't blunder down an open f file, I should be comfortably winning. Just gone that way. So now I've got ideas of bishop a6 and knight b5 in some cases. I can also take on e5, I think. So take on e5, rook f8, rook f7, rook takes, bishop g5. That looks pretty good. So probably, what's he going to play? If he plays rook f8, then of course I can block with the bishop, and if he takes, then I can just bring my other rook over. And he can't attack this with his bishop easily, because of course if bishop e7 I just take. So now I can just slowly just play king h1, rook f1, move the bishop. There's not much chance of counterplay. Okay, second game, not third game, sorry, second black game. Knight h3. Okay. So this is fairly standardy stuff. Yeah, this is kind of a classic type of position. I remember I wrote an article on kind of pawn play in the opening many years ago, and I called this the fighting centre, where all the pawns are kind of in tension with each other. And generally, of course, white's tempo does count for something in these kind of positions, because usually it's harder for black to develop, especially because white's played knight h3 and h6, so it's harder for black to develop the king side. So it can also often mean that white can take on d5 and open up this diagonal and do some nasty stuff. But it's good news for black that these moves have been thrown in on this side of the board, because that kind of slows him down a little bit. Yeah, so bishop e2. So he's not threatening anything really. I could play c6, or the idea of bishop e7 is often to play f5. This can be quite a nice, and then to play f4. Really kind of throwing fuel onto the fire in the centre there. Or I can just play a slow move with c6, which can be very useful in lots of positions. Bishop g4 is generally not such a good idea. After f3 takes, opening up those light squares. Queen g4 often comes with it's often quite nasty. I'm just going to play f5, I think. So if it's my move again, then I'd probably push on to f4, so he stops me from doing that. Now it's sort of very difficult to figure out how to properly release the tension in these positions. I'm just going to play c6. c6 and g6 are generally useful moves for black. Also, often I can even try and just push the h-pawn up the board. But of course white can castle. He can open up position much more easily than me. Okay, so f4 is a move I want to play, because now I can develop my knight to f6 without being without e takes f5 coming in. Of course, if he castles, I can just keep pushing. It can get quite risky, because sometimes he can just explode everything up and then sort of play for moves like queen h5. But I think in this case I'm okay, because if he takes again, then I've always got bishop to f6. But you know, it's easy to miss tactics in these positions, and in a quick game it's better just to let your opponent think about all that. Bishop h5 is often a move that's just thrown in these positions, like bishop h5, g6, castles. Could be good. In fact, that might be quite good. So he's letting me play f3 or knight f6. Which should I play? f3. Let's just play knight f6. But now he has got bishop h5. I probably should have played f3 there, shouldn't I? So bishop h5. Can I take with the knight? Takes on g4. Bishop f6. Sorry, takes on f4. Bishop f6, e5. Or queen h5. I don't like it at all. g6 he just takes though, and that just... I do get f3, but I'm not sure about that. What do I want to do here? I've got a feeling this might be horrendous for me. Let's just take. I can block with the bishop. He has got all these queen moves coming in. Something looks like it might be fatal. Possibly he can play something like bishop takes. I think it's best to use the undeveloped bishop. Play this and then queen here, here, and then something. Just take him with the g pawn. I've got some tempo moves, but I don't think they do anything, so I have to really block. Now I'm going to get a knight g5. Perhaps is his idea. I just need to do something. I've got this move in some cases, perhaps. Takes, bishop f4. He hasn't got much time, so if I can come up with some sort of... If I castle knight e6 just wins. Let's play queen b8. E5 probably. Still can't castle. So if I take bishop f4, then castles, knight e6 takes. That can't be good at all. But I don't know what to do here. Bishop g4 perhaps. Just coming in. I'm taking this. I don't think it's good though, because he can take there. So he's got 11 seconds. Oh, he can just take on one material, can't he? He's gonna... Okay. I nearly flagged him, but yeah, I didn't deserve anything from that one. So 2-1. Okay, what shall I do next? This e3. What am I doing here? Okay, let's do this one. This is kind of a more positional way to play. You can exchange the queens and then just play the bishop over to b5. You're threatening to come in with the knight. I think black's best line is probably just to play like bishop b4. Oh, he's giving up the pawn. I'd probably take on g6 rather than on e6, because that will kind of help his bishop to come out. But this is just a pawn up for white, so fairly happy with this outcome. I can play knight c3, bishop b4, and then move the king. Okay, obviously the open g file is not ideal for castling, but it'll take him a lot of moves to kind of pry that open over there, and I'm hoping that in the meantime I can do something better. So b3 is possible in these kind of positions. I don't know if he wants to play bishop a6 and castle queenside. Don't think he's got time. It's b3. Yeah, let's just play b3. I think that's sensible. He can move his king, play something like castles, king f8 if he wants to play rook g8. But then his king is blocking, his king is stopping. If he plays king f8, his rooks aren't connected so easily. And if he plays castles, then of course he can't use the g file. He has to waste more time to do a kind of shuffle. And if he does move his king, okay, so I thought this was a bit slow. Oh, can he just play d6? No, he can't. Of course he can't. If he castles queenside, then bishop d6, I thought just wins. So this surely is just 2 pawns up for me, though. I think this is just a conversion job now. I can just ram my d pawn up into his face, and he's not going to be able to get enough counterplay. Oh my god, he's got rook takes. Oh, has he got rook takes? No, he hasn't. I was kind of fortunate he didn't, though, because I don't think I'm paying enough attention in these games. He has got rook takes, so I think I'm just lost, am I? So I have to do this. Okay, you definitely shouldn't have done that, because now I can play king h1. I thought you could just play c takes, and then if I challenge him on this file, he just goes here with a check. So I think he just blundered that game, unless I'm missing something else, because now he has to play b6 because I'm queening, because I'm hitting b6. That's his problem. And if you play b5, then of course I have time to play rook g1. So yeah, these games are not... I don't think I'm playing very well in these games so far, but fortunately 3-1's not too bad. Rematch. Okay, so black again. So it's first 6.5, or I think it's first, yeah, to get more than 6 I think you have to get. I think those are the rules. He's gone back to this one again, so this one went very well for me last time. So he went a4, so he's playing bishop d3, e6, This is what I talked about briefly earlier. He does like to give away the queen for a bunch of pieces, and I've seen it did this, so I was a little bit forewarned about this line, and I wasn't, to be honest, I'm not too impressed with this line for white. I think black's doing quite well here, and a really important move in these kind of positions is to play f4, like now perhaps, and the idea is, I mean, if he plays e4 then I can play f3. In fact, bishop e2 kind of really asked for f4. If he plays e4 I can play f3, which is kind of nasty. And if he takes it, then of course the dark squares are really open. I'm guessing queen g5 just wins on the spot if he takes. So it's hard to see what he can do. I mean, he can maybe just try developing and giving up the bishop. But then, I mean, he has quite a lot of material down. So I'm not sure what he does here. Bishop g4 or something? Perhaps? Then I'll probably play something like bishop g7. And look to castle and open up the f line. Also got an extra minute, which is helpful. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I think bishop g4 is probably what he'll play, but maybe bishop d1, which is a bit of a sorry move. So he's letting me play either f3 or taking on e3. What to do? So f3, his idea I think is to take with the bishop. Then I can play something like bishop d6 and castle, but I don't know if I've got enough firepower. I probably have. In fact, if I play f3 and take with the bishop, can I not play queen h4 in combination with bishop b4? I think I might be able to do that. So if you take to the bishop, for example, I mean, I've got these kind of ideas of like going here, here, and after f3 playing. I'll probably play bishop b4 first, because otherwise he'll just move the king. So if I play bishop b4 first, then if he plays c3 or knight c3, then that queen maneuver is looking kind of tasty. So I've also got ideas of just castling in this position if he... Yeah, if he moves the king, like, you can't play king d1 of course because of bishop d2. And if he plays king here, I really think I'm just going to win down the f-file. I can probably just castle and probably just take it. So now I think, so queen h4, I think wins, unless I'm missing something. I mean, I've just got both diagonals. Yeah. Okay, that was a nice, straightforward one. Okay, what should I play? Let's do. I hope he goes d5. I tried to play this line. Yeah, I tried to play this line yesterday, but didn't get it. Didn't get the chance. So, oh, b5. Okay, the main move is bishop f5, and then e4 is like an interesting gambit. But he's just letting me take his bishop, which doesn't seem like a good idea. But he played it quickly, so maybe this is some legitimate gambit. It looks good for white, to me. f5, so I can exchange the queens now if I wish, like with this standard maneuver. Followed by taking on b5. It might be safest just to exchange the queens, but then I'm not too scared of what he's going to do. I'm guessing he wants to play knight f6. So if I just take on b5 direct, knight f6. Let's just do this. Let's keep it simple. I'm a simple man. Okay, queen h4, and now I take here. got bishop b5, is that his whole idea? But then I play c3, I'm not too concerned. So knight c6 is probably the right move, and what I should have spent some time considering. Then I can either play bishop b5, so he is playing this, I think just c3. So I am threatening just to take on a7. He's going to be a lot of material down. He's going to get knight f6, but it's hard to believe that that's enough. So bishop d3, he plays knight g4, I can't take. So his knight is coming in, which is obviously not ideal. Now, these are the kind of positions I don't particularly like playing as white. When you're kind of winning, but you have to deal with all sorts of nastiness. I'm gonna, let's do a check, and then put my bishop over here. He'll probably come in with knight e4. Maybe he just castles. I thought he might put his knight on d2. That's usually the way in these kind of positions. And then he'll probably castle or play f4, because now I can't castle myself. So I have to play kind of king d1 and some kind of positions. This is the problem. I was hoping I'd have time to do some sort of zigzag thing, but I obviously wasn't counting properly. Bishop d7, f3, bishop e8, f2, he queens, I cry. Okay. What to do? I'm not actually sure what to do at all. What I'm doing is not good, FYI. So we should just play f4. I'm in a lot of trouble. I didn't see that at all, but not that it. I was obviously in a big trouble anyway. Now if he plays f3, I guess I push. He probably should go back then to d2. I don't know why he's done that for. That's strange. But I'm going to lose on time, I expect, shortly. So we'll play something like e5, rook f1, and knight d2. And then he should take probably. I've got enough space. I mean, I'm not losing this position, but I will lose the game. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but he plays check and then pushes his pawn now. That's sweet. Yeah. I think he could have just mated me directly. So it's 4-2. Not bad from a match perspective. I think I was probably the heavy favourite for the match. So I don't think I'm playing my best. But there's still time to improve. So f5 and h. This d4 move I don't think is a very good move generally. But take this. Castles. Okay. I mean, I don't really understand the appeal for this line for white, if I'm honest. It just looks good for black. So, do I want to play bishop b4 or bishop h6? I think bishop h6. I guess whichever way I go, his bishop wants to go the opposite direction. Oh. So I just want a castle. Possibly bishop b4 is better, I'm not sure. But I think, you know, so black is a piece for a pawn up, and the extra piece he's got is a very strong knight on f2. So basically it's like this knight on f2 and white has a pawn on f4. He's going to try and push this somehow, because it's the only real thing that he can do. But with my knight blocking his rooks, it doesn't seem like it should be too scary. So now, for example, I mean, I can just take his pawn somehow, probably with the g pawn. So I can probably use this line. So bishop g5. I can castle, or I can just take it. Probably just taking, and then look to do this if he lets me. So he should probably play, yeah, something like g3, exactly. And now, so I can castle and look to play knight b4. Don't think it does very much. I am going to castle though. I just want to get my pieces in the game. Need to develop this bishop. So again, I can either go b6 in this way. He's taking directly. He was obviously worried about this knight jump. I'm gonna play e5, I think. So now he has 2 pawns for 2 pieces, so he's just going to try and push his pawns very quickly, as he should do. He's making it hard for me to get my bishop out, which is also what he should be doing. Should probably push this pawn, and I'll take it. Okay, also sensible. What to do? I want to play bishop takes h3, but I don't. I can play bishop g4, h takes knight h3, king h2. Doesn't win. I need to get this bishop into play. Okay, and I need to move. I'm just going to play bishop g4. I don't think it's a particularly great move. I think he should definitely take that. Yeah, I think the problem is that he can't move both rooks. Yeah, I think I've got chances with this, but the thing is, if he plays rook here, that's a good move. But I do have this. I should be able to win, right, with that. My knight should be much faster than his pawns, I'm guessing. If it's not, I'm going to be upset. Oh, that was wrong. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? I am going to lose this game. That was, yeah. Queen g8. Oh dearie me. I knew I'd struggle with the zero increment, but I must say I did expect something more than this. What's next? What shall I play? So it's 4-3 now, so he's in striking distance. I don't know what he does against this, so he's playing b5. Okay, don't know what he does, so e5 is the main move, of course, and then bishop d3. So I think the main move here is e4. Yeah, now knight e7, I think, or is it h3? I think, was I supposed to play h3 earlier? I'm not sure. I think knight e7 here is, and then bishop e7, h3. In fact, this was discussed in the Discord the other day, or yesterday, and Gannett was saying knight f2, queen h5, g6, knight d5. What was he? Oh, was he saying queen d5 and then knight d5? There's actually black's got a draw there. And he was saying queen c5 is complicated but good for white, which sounds like it could be legitimate. So shall I play queen c5 and then just make it up, or do I go queen d5 and knight d5? Or is it, no, it's just knight d5, isn't it? It's knight d5 takes, knight takes c7, and he was saying there's a draw there, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm sure neither of us knows what the draw is. Of course, if he can't take this knight, because then queen d5 will hit here and here. So the best move is for him to take my queen. But then he allows me, of course, to grab all this material. So I don't know whether he's trying to figure out some other approach here. I don't think there is one. Like bishop b4, c3. Of course he can't run with the king because I've still got my queen here. So he's doing this. I had a game against Onyebens when Onyebens played rook c8. So he's attacking my pawn, so I guess b4, sensible. I'm surprised he gave up his great knight so easily. I kind of wanted to do some sort of development. So is he going to take on b4? He wants to push in the centre, I guess, with e3. And if I castle, then he can try and open up the G line. I don't know where my king is safest. Probably it's safest on e2. And if he takes, I was hoping that I could then I could play knight d2 and then knight e4. It also looks decent. If I castled, I guess I had to worry about some other things, like him playing. Well, this is going to be good for me, I think. I've got plenty of time now. Both on the clock and position. Counter his threats. Okay, 5-3. Oh, okay, sure. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the games. I don't know if anyone has any requests. I don't know if I can see the chat actually. How do I do this? can't remember where I go to that's not the right one, is it? Manage stream. Has anyone made any comments? No, no comments. So far I'm not particularly impressed with the standard of play, especially from my side. But I think the openings have been going well. I've just kind of messed up. There's only one game, I think, the game of knight h3 and e4, where I was... he's gone straight for that line, where I wasn't doing so well objectively, I think. But I'm going to go back into it because this is my stuff. Bishop e2. Okay. Yeah, this is all kind of normal. So shall I play f5 again? Not straight away, of course. Bishop e7. There are also some really cool lines here of white castles when sometimes you can just play knight f6 and sacrifice a piece. You know, putting knight to g5, opening up the h-file is generally not so good. And when black takes on c5, sometimes you can... when he's played c3, if the pawn was on c2, let's say a castle last move, it was probably more legitimate, because then you can play bishop c5, and after he takes, play knight b4. I've analysed stuff like that, or similar positions. So he's just doing it directly. So I wonder, so knight c5 takes... Yeah, I'm not sure. This looks like it should be decent. But you know, it's in these situations I find it almost impossible to calculate everything, and that's why, you know, I don't particularly like these positions, especially when you're playing against lower rated players, because it's easy to miss something and then for the game to just be gone. So I think these lines are generally a good choice when you're playing stronger opponents. So knight f6 is a move. Generally just want to get developed. I can also play something, just drop my knight in here and follow up with queen b6, but then he can just play king h1. I'm just going to play this, I think. Don't know. The thing is, knight here takes bishop h5. I don't particularly like. But I think I need to get developed. And it's not one-way traffic in that line. The problem is, yeah, it's a bishop h5, I think g6. I mean, he might be able to take on d5, so he's just playing that. But I'm not sure about that move, actually. So knight d3. So if he takes, I'm planning on just taking on h3. Queen h5. I think I'm doing well, but it's difficult to... So I can throw in bishop g4. I don't know, because if he plays f3, then I take on h3, it's even better. Queen, where can he move his queen? No, so I don't see any particularly good queen moves for him. So I'm going to play bishop g4. I think that's a clever move. Actually, it's not, is it? Because he has bishop... Oh no, so bishop g5 is a move I missed and just saw after I moved. So bishop f6, I guess, is the only option. I still have queen b6 moves. The thing is that now, after I take, you can go there, but then I can play bishop takes. So he still has to probably move his queen somewhere. I'm not sure about that, so queen Queen b6. Oh, this is too complicated for me. Bishop e3 is, I think, the only move that I can see. But now I was hoping that bishop e2 is strong. I'm not sure. So king h1, I can play bishop here. Then maybe he just goes back. Maybe he just goes back to g1 again. Have I got a way to... There must be a way to do this, right? So if I take his queen, he takes mine. I haven't got time for this. Okay, I'm winning in the match, so I think I'll just do the professional thing. Okay. My turn with white. So, one win away. What do I want to do? I'm going to play the exchange line. Which is kind of a nice line. I think white gets a little bit of a plus in these positions, but nothing too serious. I think g6 is the best move in this position, this one with e4. There are some other funky lines of queen b6 and queen takes b2, which, although I don't remember them, they're supposed to be, well, I know that they win for white. So probably bishop h6 is good here. What he should do. Then usually what I'd like to play is play bishop g5 and then just push the h pawn up the board and just try and squeeze him on the king side. Yeah. So he's playing d6. So this often opens up ideas for me to play like this and then c3, which might be good. I'm just going to push the h pawn. It tends to be quite hard for black, so he's playing knight a6, so this does ask me to do this and then check him, but he's hoping that he gets enough counterplay with his knight, which he may do. I'm going to play knight d5 anyway. I can always just kind of block him off over this side of the board. The alternative was just to take his knight, which is a safer way to play, and I probably should have done that considering the situation and the fact I'm not in the best form. It's taking a long time. Oh my goodness. He must have seen something that he didn't like there, but I don't know what. Because now it's just fantastic for me. I can just block his knight out the game. Probably c3 was actually stronger because then I was opening up for queen b3. But with this strong knight here and his king somewhat in the centre, it's going to be very difficult for him to deal with this position, I think. So this e6 square is nice and tender. What's his plan? He wants to do something in the centre. I'm just going to play h5. Another option is to play g3 and bishop h3, because his light squares will be very weak once those bishops go. He needs to do something, maybe c5. Or some capture. If I'm allowed to just play a bunch of moves, then it will just keep getting worse for him. Yeah, the time situation is obviously quite good for me as well. But the thing is, yeah, I mean, with my knight here, it means that, okay, so he's playing queen there, which means that I can now do this without him allowing the exchange, if I want. So I can grab a lot of material with this knight by doing this and taking here. And with that pawn, it might be good. I don't think I need to though. I mean, I'm sure that's subjectively very, very good. I'm just going to play g3 because I think he'll probably struggle to continue making sensible moves. So he wants to hop over there. If he jumps with the knight now, I can take here. Yeah, she's doing that first. Probably jump into c5, but this is covered by the bishop still. Okay, he's going this way. If I can get a piece on this line, then he's in big, big trouble. I should just play knight e6. I should have just played knight e6 last move, but I can do it now. Because now his rook's on d8, he can't move the king to e8. And now, yeah, now I think I just win. Okay. I think that's the end. Yeah. Good games. Yeah. Thanks for the game. So that'll be the end of the stream. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the games were entertaining, and you can see that even some of the stronger players are not particularly strong a lot of the time. Yeah, thanks for watching, and check you next time in the next Banter Blitz game.